LR, the Liberal Redneck here, coming to you from a world caught up in the story of the Titanic submarine implosion that killed all 5 passengers. At the same time, little attention has been paid to the drowning deaths of 646 migrants off the coast of Greece. The submarine incident was an unfortunate accident. The migrant deaths were a horrible tragedy. The submarine passengers, except for the captain, who was the founder and chief executive officer of the company, OceanGate, paid an obscene amount of money to make their trip. According to the company website, the tickets were $250,000 each. They accepted the risk and danger of such a trip knowingly. I feel pity for the teenage boy who wanted to share the great adventure with his dad, and more so for his mother, who gave up her seat so he could do so. She will endure horrible grief and guilt for the rest of her life. Questions about the submarine's safety were raised in 2018 during a symposium of submersible industry experts and in a lawsuit by OceanGate's former head of marine operations, which was settled later that year. I suspect that the other passengers were caught up in trying to impress their rich friends with how cool they were, and the circumstances backfired on them. A classic example of be careful what you wish for. The migrants were mostly Pakistanis, Syrians, Palestinians, and Egyptians. They left the port of Tobruk, Libya, on what their families thought was a VIP boat headed for Italy, and what they hoped would be a better life in Europe. 5 days later, the Adriana, which was actually a fishing trawler and dangerously overcrowded, became stranded in deep waters to the southeast of Greece's Peloponnese Peninsula. On June 14th, in the middle of the night, it capsized, then sank, while a Greek Coast Guard vessel was stationed just a short distance away. As many as 750 men, women, and children are believed to have been on board. Only 104 have been found alive. It is one of the worst shipwrecks in the Mediterranean's history. 9 Egyptian men who had been on board are being held by the Greek authorities in pre-trial detention, according to the Associated Press. They are charged with various crimes, including negligent manslaughter and people smuggling. Speaking of the crisis, Pope Francis has said, "The Mediterranean is a graveyard which should make us reflect." Sentiment in some parts of Europe is running against immigration, but there's still hope that integration for refugees and migrants is possible, given state and institutional support. If you are among those who are upset about the jokes surrounding the submarine implosion, ask yourself why there are no jokes about the migrants drowning. Thanks for listening, and remember, always vote blue.